So, for those that wanted to know what it looks like behind the dash and the Speed 6s and the Mazda 6s regular, there you go. So, if you notice, this port right here, that's the auxiliary port. So the car actually came stock with a iPod adapter. So, as you can see, it fits perfectly into that port there. The only problem is I'm using that port for this unit, which I will review a little later, but pretty much this is just swapping one for the other. So I'm going to take this out, put that back there, and I'll use this harness now for this piece here. And then I have another thing, this wonderful piece of equipment, factory sound system interface, and yes, it works with Bose. Oh, and also, this is what it looks like when you drop the dash. You'll see that little bracket right there with the hole. I could probably get to it with my hand. Where the hell is it? Shit. Yeah, that right there. That's where the 10mm bolt that holds the radio in. This. That's where this resides. And until you get that out, the radio's not going anywhere. But now that I have that done, I'm going to now take this apart. And this little section here, this USB right there, that's going to be the internet access for the unit. So you can get your apps and, well, not apps, so the navigation has access to the Google search and the places and other live traffic and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in the back of the unit. There we go. That's it. So let's just take a quick look at the back here. So you got your audio input right there. That's the cable for the harness here. And then you have the power and whatnot, and your backup camera is that blue wire. That's why I don't have the blue wire in use, but literally this plugs right into the auxiliary port on the radio. Really nothing else necessary. But this is the unit itself. Very, very trick. Very, very trick. You have no idea what's going on unless I told you. So I'm going to start putting everything back together. Run this RA wire on my remote wire and hopefully see if we get some audio today. Alright, so under here, getting a power wire done. Get a little light here. There we go. So that's the grommet so many people talk about. I don't play games, so just in case the grommet wasn't playing ball, we had plan B here. But apparently this rubber grommet is actually the best way to do it. So that's the grommet we're talking about. As you can see, there's a mess of other wires and different things in there. But this is right underneath the clutch pedal. Well, not right underneath, but to the upper left. Underneath the dash, let's put it like that, shit. But using a good old-fashioned coat hanger, which I don't even know if they make these anymore, so it might be tough to get one of these. But as you can see, I've put the coat hanger, basically just punched a hole right into it, basically right by where that alarm wire is for the power. But now if we go outside into the bay. What is that? that a coat hanger? Yeah, it looks like a coat hanger. Alright, so what we're gonna do, as you can see, I haven't actually gotten a picture of the bay here, so obviously you got to remove the battery box to do this, and then right over to the right hand side, way deep in the back, you see where the grommet comes out. So let's grab this wire with the pliers, little coat hanger I should say. Got it. Voila, coat hanger. So the plan now is basically go back in the way it came in. So I'm gonna tape the power wire to it and basically just pull it right on back through. I have a power wire, wonderful 4-gauge material. So obviously the big question is getting it back in. So I was sitting here thinking, what's the best way to do it? Which way do I want to pull it through? Do I want to depend on electrical tape, tape it up real good to that and then pull it through? Or, and it just kind of dawned on me, I have a capacitor, so I have ring connectors. What if I looped the shit, I can't think of the word now. Shit. I'm gonna have to edit this out. The coat hanger, yeah. What if I loop the coat hanger around the ring connector? Because my connector is soldered. So, well, it's not gonna focus, but you can see there's some additional shiny shit on there. But my connection is soldered, so it's definitely not coming loose. So I should be able to give it a pretty good damn pull, and hopefully it'll come through. So you know what? I think what I'm going to do is do this real time. That's pretty neat. So we're going to tape it, because I don't want it to fray anything on the way in, because it does have a bit of a sharp edge. Plus I don't want the shit, I can't think of the name of it, the coat hanger. I have to write that down, but I don't want the coat hanger to come apart while I'm pulling it through. I have lots of electric tape, so I'm going to be very liberal with this. In a perfect world, I don't want to do this one time. Okay. Alright. So we have our power wire connected with the coat hanger and tape. So now we're going to pull that bitch right on through. And you can see I'm literally just going to pull it through. She's a fighting. She's a fighting. Alright. Hey! There she is. Power wire. Alright, let's check that red wire. If I broke that up, I think I might lose my mind. Oh no, I just pulled in. So let's pull this back. Make sure this isn't damaged, because I'd be very sad if it was. Yeah, it's not damaged, it's fine. But as you can see, power wire is through. And pretty much at this point, it's just pulling her on in. Yeah, it's just snaking right on in now. So Yep, as you can see, that's in there. And it's pretty nicely in the grommet. Pretty much, I didn't see anybody doing a video like this. So I figured, shit, I'll do one, because everybody says, oh, the grommet, the grommet, the grommet, the grommet, but then nobody shows you how to get it in there. It's like, well, shit. Pictures would be nice. So, a good idea, label the wire. What I mean by label it, mark it on the wire, so you don't pull too much through, because I got a little over anxious and almost pulled the whole damn thing through, and I probably would have perished a lot, but thankfully I thought about it and I stopped. So that's pretty much through. Make sure that's not damaged. I hate that being right there, but hey, it is what it is. Alright, but yeah, just a quick tip. Make sure you mark the wire so you know how much you're pulling through. I am going to route mine. You see I already removed the fuse panel cover. But I'm going to run it right under this, as you can see. Hooks. Easy. Boom. There you go. I'm going to run it right underneath, right into the back seat, which I am going to need to clear my shit out of. Got an interjection here. Running the wire. It's going very well. I mean, even though I do a lot of performance stuff now, my roots are with car audio. That's where I started, so I'm a bit of a neat freak, and I've seen a lot of weird disasters happen from wire not being secured and getting loose and getting frayed and damaged, and not good. So I like to use zip ties. You have the main harness coming in. It routes, the majority of it routes underneath the carpet. That's usually how they do it, but obviously there's plenty of space right beside it. And you can see where the points are for the trim piece, where you have plenty of space to secure it with zip ties and make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. This piece right here, you really don't have to move. I mean, as you can see, nothing's, I mean, it's not sticking out or anything. Excuse me for it being dirty. I've been working on it. I mean, I don't even have a damn glove compartment right now, but regardless, no, irregardless, as some people like to say. But, I did pull this up to secure it down. I'm actually not done securing it down, but another quick thing you're gonna have to do, as this is a Speed 6, seats don't fold down, right? Yes, they do. So we got a little bit more involved in this. See these clips? There's 5 of them. Ah, shit, that hurt. And there's your clip, and that should come right on out. I just pull this down. So I don't need this permanently down, so I'm not gonna do the mod. But if you look underneath there, there should be. Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is, right on this side. Hello. So all we're gonna do is, if I can get my hand on it. Shit. There it is. Oh, you bitch. I can't believe you just did that. Seats fall down. So I'm gonna, now the seats are down. I have a power wire here. So obviously I'm going to tuck this back under here, and it's going to come out, but for now I just want to get it in the back. So, like I ran RA wire on that side, which you can see. I'm going to run this basically the same way, right the way the stockers did it right there. So, just loop it right through the back. And then go get it. Obviously, this is YouTube, so everybody knows how to do everything better. There are obviously better ways of doing this. But the main thing is I just want to get it done, and then I'm going to pretty it up later. Alright, so there you go, your power wires in here. Life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So I snapped those off and then realized that, you know, that would be fantastic if I just ran it right through there, which I did. Actually looks pretty nice. So power is through, remote and RC air through, and the ground. So yeah, like I said, the engine is super dirty. But this is going to be cleaned up. I just haven't really had a chance to clean it up yet. You know, your normal amp fuse. It's I mean, it's pretty standard stuff. I did go with the kicker terminal for the power, so I still have my my factory units here for all the normal factory things, and then I have some 4-gauge specifically for the amp. So everything adds its own separate port, and if you notice, I still have another open option in there. So if I need another power source for whatever reason, I have it. I'm going to eventually mount this down as well. Probably mount it like right there where those holes are. I just didn't get around to doing it yet, but I figured now that it's working, I might as well take a quick video. So obviously, as the video is shown, there's been a lot of work that's gone into making this clean. So I mean, that's about the only thing I'm slightly upset about. That didn't fit exactly as I want, so there's a small gap there. But it's really not that even. It's really not even that noticeable. None of the wiring you can see. Same thing goes for the head unit as well. There's really nothing to allude to any additional work. Same thing in the back. Yeah, I know, dirty car, I'm aware. So, clean install overall. Let's go over on this side. Same thing. This actually cleaned up really nicely, so went right back like nothing ever happened. So I'm running the power on that side because that's just typically the way you would run it, and then I'm running the RAs on the remote on this side. Then I also ran my GPS antenna right there, which is have my USB port there as well. But if I pull this down a little, actually no, I don't feel like taking that off, but you'll just have to believe me, my line out converter is behind there, the kiss lock that I'd shown earlier. Clean install, no wires, nothing like that. And coming into the business end. So very simple. So I went with the 1.5 farad cap, Soundstream 1700D tower amp. So the main thing with these amps are you can either lay them down or you can stand them up. This one, hold on, let me turn the light on. There you go, 1700D. But right now I have it hooked up for 1100 watts because I'm running this at this speaker is shit, let me think. I think it's a 4 ohm. I'm pretty sure it's 4. It's either 4 or 2 ohms. I want to say 4 ohms. I should have checked that before I made this, but too bad. But this is a Memphis. Oh Christ. I think a 10D S4, something like that. I know it has S4. and I know it's rated at 300 RMS and 600 PMS. So obviously the 1700, I don't have this amp turned up that high, but they put some brackets in for it. These are just basic L brackets you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's. So put the light on. So I got a bracket there, and then another bracket there. And then obviously, you know, you have your snake wiring in the back there for the sub. But overall, if you look at it from, you know, just somebody coming to look at the trunk, it's clean. It's pretty clean overall. Like I said, I went with the capacitor because if anybody that's ever dealt with system knows, a sound system will definitely put additional wear and tear in your battery and your alternator just because of the inherent nature of how it works. That those same electrical components that run the rest of your car are now going to have to cope with running 1700 additional watts that weren't measured into the output of your battery or your alternating. I'm using a Red Cap Optima. It's not ideal for sound, but I mean, this is my daily driver, so I'm more interested in as many cold cranking amps as I can get versus how many times I can, you know, basically deplete the battery. There's a deep cycle battery, a yellow top, that's designed specifically for like deep cycling of a system. So, but I mean, the red top with the cap, I mean, I haven't had any sort of flickering or anything like that. And then obviously I'm going to get to this in a few moments. But for now, I have a decibel reader. So I swear I get so tired of seeing the videos of people taking like videos of their cup holders and like change shaking, and that's supposed to give me an idea of how loud the system's supposed to be. Well, you can just get a decibel reader and you can see exactly how loud it is. So I haven't actually checked this yet, but as you can see, it does work. It definitely works. Yeah, it's definitely picking up that sound. I think the mic's over here. Oh yeah, it's definitely working. Alright, so I'll just leave this right here for now. And basically what I'll do, like I said, the settings are pretty low on this. I think I got it at maybe halfway on the gain. And granted, this is running in like it's running in 2.0 mode. I gotta check that speaker. It's either 2 or 4, but I know for a fact it's at 1100 watts. So I'm at half of that right now. So maybe the 600 or so that the speaker is maxed at. As you can see, the bass, I keep the bass very, very low. So let's try a couple tracks and see what we get for sound. This is just a random CD I have from a long time ago. It's just audio. It's just the beat. No words or anything. I'm not interested in that. I know it's very clear, but right now I just want to check the maximum power that I can put out. So I would be impressed with like 100 decibels. So we'll see what I can get. Let me see. We'll work our way up from -5 to +5. Well, no, actually, I wouldn't want to go that high. I'd probably blow the speaker. So let's start with -5. Let's see what we get with that. Alright, so that's not bad for the first song I wanted to test. And I'll try, I actually have a low pass CD that I'm gonna try, but alright, so let's try let's try this one. Yeah, this actually sounds kind of nice. So, not bad. So to be honest, I think there's a good possibility I might have maxed out the decibel reader. Because it pegs at 90. Yeah. Let me see if I can get it beyond 80. We'll be on 90. 87. Damn it, I don't have a... What the hell can I use to make noise? Shit. Yeah, I think I just maxed it at 90. Awesome. So, then this is not actually that accurate. So, I'm going to need a different one. It is, in all likelihood, probably beyond 90 decibels, but I'm happy with that. Next has a very tight, has a tight punch, to be honest. It's not a very, like a sloppy bass, if that's a way of saying it. It's a really, like, punchy bass. But usually that's the difference you get between, like, the smaller subs, like an 8 or a 10, or a 12, which is more of, like, a really low. It gives you a really, really low, like a booming sound versus, like, a punchy bass. I'll probably switch it over to a 12 though, but for now, I mean, this 10 is putting in a bit of work with the sound stream, considering the conditions I have it under. Already you can tell from the excursion, it's under a decent amount of pressure, so it's not, I don't think it would like the additional at all. So let me get into the audio visual here. So that's good right there. So, this is the AV system I put in. Thus far, it's running a IGO Primo navigation software. I had to choose between a couple different ones, and the IGO on what the fuck is this? What? Have you lost your fucking mind? But no. Oh, this hasn't updated in a while. Yeah, I keep it off the majority of the time. I know where I'm going typically, but it's more of a situation where it does everything. And the IGO was the prettiest navigation software I could find, so I went with that. Let me go home. Actually, I have a DVD in here, so all I got to do is change the auxiliary to, change the mode to auxiliary, and then that activates this. And I actually have a disc in there right now. And this regular steering wheel controls work.
That ain't for your car, sir.
No, thanks, I'm good.
Just got these leopard skin seat covers in.
Come on home.
So,
Fucking leopard, man. Leopard.
needless to say, I got my boy, so.
Leopard.
Tell you what.
I
Just got a hot
have,
order and that fell off the back of a truck.
I have that Dave Chappelle, so.
$80 is a sweet deal.
And the everything is
Jesus
touchscreen
air
pretty
freshener.
much, so let's go menu. It works just like a regular DVD player, so if everything's just touchscreen, so episode 1, let's go episode 2, and then okay. And it skips ahead and whatnot. I did have another movie that I might put in, but for now, I was just showing how the DVD player works. So you're gonna exit this, hit the home button, and I have digital TV, which right now I don't have that hooked up because I don't use that. And plus, I have to have an antenna for that, and I'm cool with that antenna. I don't want to put another antenna in. Besides, there's really nothing analog anyway, so this is auxiliary. And that's the GPS. That's the GPS SD right there. And then I have some controls over here. Ideally, you're supposed to be able to use the remote control, but I didn't get the remote for whatever reason, so it doesn't matter. I just use the regular controls. So mode switches between the different modes that it does. Then obviously you have open and close, and then this goes straight to the navigation. And then you have these. These are pretty straightforward. Eject this, pause, skip back, skip forward. The normal. If you notice, it does have a little speaker right there. That is for when I want to watch. Well, no, that's when I want to have the navigation on, but I want to have the radio on. So in order for this to play, let me see. I'll put the DVD back on. Let's mute it. So it has to be on the auxiliary for it to play the audio. So I'm gonna play the video, and then there we go. So, movie's on right now. So if I switch the source, you lose the. So there's no audio for this. So if I wanted to, I can hit mode and it'll play through here, but that really doesn't make any sense. So the main reason that you would have that is so if you have the radio on and you want to have the navigation doing what the Navi does, like announcing your route and whatnot, you could still have the radio play without interrupting your the song. I mean, it's kind of a trade-off. Where most systems, they just kind of chime in during whatever you're doing, and they just start announcing information. But the way this works, it will not interrupt whatever you're doing, specifically, unless you ask it to do. But in this case here, I'm cool. I'm cool just putting it on the auxiliary. So let's go over some of the features here. So as you can see, it is touchscreen. Bluetooth, it does have Bluetooth set up, but I actually have the Bluetooth off on my phone, so it's going to say disconnected. But it does the same thing like any other Bluetooth. It makes calls. It pulls the audio from the phone, plays it through the system, pulls your contacts list. It's regular Bluetooth, so there's really nothing too special there. Obviously DVD auxiliary. This is multimedia controls. So this is really if I'm using this. If I'm using the USB, or if I'm using these right here, auxiliary would be the best case. But if I'm using this, then this will basically allow me to go in and it's almost like a file manager. Go back. No, that's no. Storage card. Yeah, so it's trying to pull what's on the storage card right now. So we have, so if I did have anything on here, it'll basically play it like a Windows Media format, but obviously there's nothing in there, so it's not going to play anything. And then we have the navigation, which obviously is a big thing for me. That was the main reason that I got it. Like I was saying, with the Google search, it will. Let me see. Google search. So this will do like a local search through Google, but obviously that requires you to have internet, which I declined because I don't feel like paying $30 a month to Verizon for a little dongle to plug into this damn thing. I know where I'm going anyway, so I don't really need that. But let me go back out, find address. So it works like any other Navi. You put in your information. For now, let me put in a destination. Do I have anything? Yeah, I have a couple that I went to recently. Let's use this one. Nope, shit. Alright, there we go. So, no. Damn it. Alright, there we go. So, here's, some, I don't know how old these are. I don't even remember the last time I've been to these places, but regardless, let's say I wanted to go to one. So, let's go 3 First Ave. I don't know where that is. Go. So, it'll plot out the route, and then it will give me a couple of different options. So if I say, no, I don't like that route, it'll chart me out alternatives. Although in this case, I don't think there's many. Actually, this is a bad destination to pick because I think I'm actually kind of close. So let me find something that's further away. Oh, perfect. Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Let's see how long this takes to plot in. This was for a wedding I went to, but I'll see how long it takes. So this is actually a pretty, I think this drive was like 400 some miles, and it did calculate it up pretty quickly. 391 miles, even better. So go to route alternatives, and it will calculate me out some different routes, and it'll obviously tell me it's going to take me about 7 hours, how much CO2 I should use, and the different highways that I can go through. And then it'll give me a secondary route, a third route. It'll also give me fast routes, the least turns, the greenest route in terms of like where you use less gas. Obviously, we have another one that is a little less CO2, but it's also an additional mile, and it's going to take me an extra 3 minutes to get there. And then I have another green route, which it's factoring out, which this is going to be the most economic route here in terms of using gas, and it's supposed to help the environment. So I probably should use less CO2. Oh no, 389 miles. Oh, there we go. That's less miles than the first option. But go back, and let's say that, all right, I'm ready to go with that. We'll go. There we go. So it'll tell you where you're at right now. It'll also tell you your approximate arrival time, the distance, how fast you're going. This should be for radio traffic alerts, but like I said, I don't feel like paying Verizon $30 a month for the online, so I don't need that. You can pull some options up in here too. Your favorites, how the map looks, the approximate amount of gas. I mean, there's actually a lot of information here. Then it'll give you the itinerary, so it'll tell me exactly what I'm going to be doing. Oh yeah, I remember this. This trip was a beast. Yeah, this was some driving. But it'll give you your full itinerary and whatnot, and then give you detailed instructions in terms of how far you're going to go, and then when you should get there, the approximate amount of time it's going to take you to get there. So, I mean, there is a ton of information that it gives you. Then it'll give you a summary of how long it should take and the total drive as a whole. Let's go back into the regular navigation. Then I can go into the menu. I didn't mean to do that. Well, that's another option too. You can press the screen and change the directional point, or add like a you can add like a waypoint, or just use it as a new route. Say like I want to go there now. But then you can hit the info button. Shit, I didn't mean to do that. Info button, and that'll tell me basically where that place is. So if I cursor here, Jubilee Drive, it'll give me information about that. So that's 240 Jubilee Drive in Peabody. They give me the latitude and the longitude, and then if I want to go ahead and put that in as a destination, it'll let me do it. Or if I want to add it to my favorites, I can. So I do have my favorites in, but I don't feel like giving out everybody's address, so I'm not going to go on all of those. What's another feature on it? You can change your vehicle profile. So obviously I've given it a name. And I put in the estimated fuel consumption, 18 and 25, which is probably pretty accurate. Tell it what sort of gas I'm taking, the normal cost of fuel, the maximum speed I've gone thus far. So this is more of a, I think this is reset every time, because I think I've gone a little over 81. I probably went 81 to get here. And then you can reset the defaults if you want. But you can also do a trip monitor, and it'll allow you to record your trip and then put it on like a storage card. And then if you want to actually view your driving characteristics in terms of you know, how you drive, or how often you're on the gas, or you know what your average speed is, how often you stop, how long your break, it'll give over basically all that detail. But one thing, word of wisdom, it does take a shit ton of data. Because I mean, if you're doing like a 6-7 hour, it's like taking a data log with one of these. So it takes a ton of data. So if you have a very small SD card, it's not worth your time. But it does work out at times though. Obviously you have your traffic indicator here. That's for the online. I don't have that active. Then you can go to, let me see, I'm going to cancel this for now though. Shit. Cancel route. Cancel. So there's also multiple settings in terms of route options. So you can put in like your default in terms of if you want the default to just go to the fast option, or to go to the shortest route option, or go to the greenest option. You could put in your default, although I don't really have a problem with it being fast. And then you have your route settings, where you can tell it to avoid like highways or toll charges, ferries, carpools, unpaved roads, and then obviously it'll calculate out the green route, but I've disabled that. I'm more interested in the fast route. And then we have a ton of different options. So I have your updates. So yeah, that's not gonna pull up, because if you notice, that's an HTML that requires internet. So best case, I'll probably just manually update it. I'll go to the website for IGO and I'll just download the update. But I think this is pretty recent that I have right now. It does have a calculator, and yes, the calculator does work. 25 plus 25, 32? No, 50. All right, I thought. So the calculator does work. And I believe it does have a conversion up here mode. Degrees, cosine, I thought it had a conversion. Yeah, I knew it had a converter. So if you want to do unit conversion, let's say distance. So 1 mile, and then it'll give you the distance. So that should be 5,284 feet. That's wrong. I swear it's 5,284 feet. All right, well, it's close enough. I don't give a damn. Let's say 25 miles. And it does a pretty quick conversion from what I'm seeing here. Or feet. Actually, inches. No, centimeters. No, inches, yeah. Because I was doing this earlier because I had to know centimeters. Which works out to 2.559 inches is 6.5 centimeters. That's for a project that I'm doing. So we'll say 2.559 is 6.49 cm or 6.5. So that actually definitely. Oh shit! There's speed right there. I am stupid. So let's say what 180 kilometers is 111 miles an hour. Or let's say what the Bugatti Veyron does, 407 kilometers. So 407, that is 252.8981. Or if you want to do the opposite way around, miles an hour to kilometers, this tops out. Well, I've done 172 before, so let's see what that does. 172 is 276 kilometers. That definitely comes in handy. And then fuel economy, temperature, power, mass, area, volume, pressure. I mean, there is quite a. What is it? What the flies? I'm gonna have to. Shit, where's the towel at? Really? Maggots? He was pregnant? Ridiculous. But, alright. So, yeah, there's a ton of information that this does. There is a music player. I don't have anything in here, so it's not going to play. But I can put a playlist in and whatnot. You have your fuel consumption, picture viewer. This is just the loading screen for the IGO, so it'll pull that. You have the sunrise and sunset. I'm sure that's extremely useful. Trip monitor, that was the thing before where it saves your trip. Clothing? What the hell is that? Are you kidding me? Broadband sizes? Well then. Damn, this is always what I needed to know. I was wondering what cup it was. Alright, cup sizes. Nice. Very nice. There we go. So, in case you didn't know your cup size, come on into D's, Carl. I'll get you that info. Shoes for women. So it gives you the different sizes. Well, I didn't even know this was here. Shoes for men. Shirts for men. Oh, so it converts. Oh, okay. So I wear a 17.5 neck, so that's a 43. Actually, now that I think about it, this actually is shoes for men. My dress shoes are 17. So what the hell are they? They're not up here. Oh no, it's EU 45. So that's US 11 and a half. Okay, that makes sense now. So I know what size my shoes are now. I was wondering what size. It just had a 45 on the sole. Hats. That's awesome. Country information. What the hell is that? Let's say Australia. That's awesome. So it gives you the speed limits. It gives you the maximum blood alcohol content is 0.5 per mil. So let's say Germany. Take this bitch over to Germany. Obviously, the only thing I want to check is the speed limit. So emergency number is 112 if you have an emergency. Snow chains are required in the winter, just in case. Winter tires are also required in the winter, so it's not going to be US with a bunch of sorry-ass all seasons. You got your in-city speed is about 31, I guess, kilometers. It's actually pretty slow. Well, no, that's got to... Yeah, actually, that's probably accurate. And then the countryside is 62 kilometers, more than likely. And then your phone country code is 0.49. That's very good to know. And then help, what the hell is this? Oh, and then it gives you a demo? I never actually checked that. Lost... What? Oh, these are demo routes. Huh. Let's say New York. Demo route. Oh, that's cool. So...
After 1.3 miles, keep right.
There we go. So, it's just basically doing a demo of what the navigation looks like, which is pretty cool because I did not know that it can do that. Although I've been in this tunnel longer than I want to be. I must be doing the speed limit. There we go. That is actually really cool. I did not know about this. Holy hell. Oh, this would be... Yeah, I don't have the internet active, so that doesn't work. Oh, there's a couple really cool features. When you... Oh, see, that's what I was trying to do. That's actually really cool. So when you're coming up on something, it will tell you the sign before you go. And you don't actually even have to have the navigation on for it to do that. You don't have to be navigating anywhere, I should say, to do that. If you have this up and you're on a highway, it will automatically pull up like which way is which. But that's actually really, really, really useful. Super useful. If this gets over to all the way in to where it gets off, it'll then actually give you a graphic of getting off the highway, which is also pretty badass. So I'm going to give this the extra probably 2 seconds or so. Well, actually probably like 5 seconds. I'm doing 22. This isn't a very accurate demo. Oh, because the speed limit's 25. I don't give a damn about. But, also it will give you the speed limit. So depending on where you're at, if you're not 100% sure what the speed limit is, it will give you what the approximate speed limit is in that area. And it actually is pretty accurate. I mean, in the areas I've been in, it is right on point.
Keep right.
So let me see if it gives me the graphic where you get off the... Oh, it also shows you the direction of the traffic, if you can see. So you see some of the arrows are coming at me, some are going away, so it tells you which way you're going so you don't accidentally get on a street and then go into oncoming traffic, because nobody likes that guy. And it looks like I have slowed down to 17 miles an hour, so this is not me driving. That's actually very cool. I'm surprised it didn't do the graphic of getting off the highway yet. That's what I was waiting for. How is it going to do it? I'm only doing 7 miles an hour. That's not going to work. Alright, how do I speed this up?
After 50 feet, exit the motorway.
So there are quite a few different voices. So let me think for a minute where the voices are. Oh, that is a whole nother menu I didn't even go into. That's crazy. This is the navigation menu in terms of how it looks. The backlight details, if you're off, if you're off-road or something, it also has an advanced speed limit, which will give you, I turned that off, but it gives you like a beep when you go over the speed limit. So it's beeping basically the whole time I'm in the car. So I close that off. That's the online traffic. Here's more settings. So, I mean, it's a really, really well done system. So voice language, I have Kate, but
Have a nice trip. Drive carefully.
I got that guy.
Have a nice trip. Drive carefully.
Yeah, I like Kate.
Have a nice trip. Drive carefully.
Yeah, Kate's on point. And then I got, let me see this, Tom.
Have a nice trip. Drive carefully.
Yeah, I'm all set, Tom.
In 50 meters, turn left.
Oh, she's got a little lisp.
In 50 meters, turn left.
I like that.
Have a nice trip. Drive carefully.
Okay, well, clearly, Dave is a ladies' man.
In 50 meters, turn left.
That sounds nice.
Have a nice trip. Drive carefully.
Have a nice trip. Drive carefully.
Have a nice trip. Drive carefully.
Oh, yeah, Dave definitely sounds out. And obviously, you gotta have it in Espanol.
Gire la derecha, 50 metros.
Alright, and I got France.
Bon voyage. Conduisez prudemment.
Wow. Italian?
Buon viaggio. Guidi con prudenza.
I think this is Latvian, maybe?
Lai jums jauks ceļojums, brauciet uzmanīgi.
Christ. Netherlands?
Goede reis. Rij voorzichtig.
Yeah, so there's actually some things that I still haven't even found in here that I actually just found right now. I didn't even know about.
Have
some
a
of
nice
those
trip.
things.
Drive carefully.
For now, I'm gonna leave my girl, Kate. Kate's been treating me good, so I'll stick with Kate. You got advanced settings, which it'll set like the time that it's supposed to alert you or start talking in terms of how close you have to get before it tells you. So let's go down. This is the verbosity level. Basically, that'll control how often they're talking to you. So I have it set for very verbose, meaning that she's going to do a lot of talking versus basically saying one word like every mile. She might give me like 3 warnings, like, hey, in a mile you're going to get off. Hey, in a half a mile you're going to get off. Hey, all right, time to get off. It might tell me 3 times. This is the this is the speed settings. So it'll always tell me the speed limit, and it'll give me like a little red marker when I'm over the speed limit. Say, hey, you need to slow down. I've set it to warn me when my speed is 120% of the limit, so it is red quite often. There's warning sign alerts for like curves, corners. So when there's very like deep corners, it'll beep to say, hey, you might want to slow down on that corner. This is the quick menu, the menu I was in before, which shows all these things. You can move these things around and put different things, but that's the way I like it right now. You have your driving time management, which will give you like a timer. So it'll let you know if you want to like track your trip, like how long it's taking. This isn't like the driving recorder where it records everything you do. It just records like how long it takes. So it's just basically a stopwatch. Your route settings, we already are into that. This is the map settings. This is how the map looks. So right now I have it set to 3D mode. You can change the viewpoint to high, or bring it very low, or just make it normal. And then you can do like 3D vehicles if you want to have like a regular like a car. Instead of the arrow, you can do vehicles. It'll also do landmarks, so it'll show buildings rest stops, things like that. It'll actually like show them. Let me see, visual guidance setting. This is for the data fields. So basically the information that shows up at the bottom, you can either do your altitude, your speed limit, the time, current speed. This is, granted, this is fields without routes. So if you have a route, then it automatically, I mean, you can configure it, but I config to when I should get there, so the estimated time of arrival, my current speed, and the speed limit. So I took the time out. This will show you signpost, junction views, how it looks in the tunnel. So when we were in New York and it was doing the demo, it showed the tunnel. Then it has a route progress bar, which I don't have active. Doesn't really matter to me. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just a bar that it goes up or down based on, well, it goes up based on how much of the route you complete. This is real-time route alternatives. And I turned that off. It's a bit of a pain in the ass because it's constantly trying to find a quicker way to get where you're trying to go if you're navigating. So it'll say, hey, take this right. That'll take off like 25 seconds. So I don't need to save 25 seconds. And it'll also give you hints. So it'll literally pull up like a street up on the thing. Like while you're navigating, it'll pull up another box to say, hey, if you go this way, you could save like 30 seconds. And then it'll say, do you want to go that way? And then it'll give you like a little countdown timer. And then you either have to accept it or you have to say no. And it will do that over and over again everywhere you go. So that's a pain in the ass. I turned that off. And then obviously your display. So it gives you the menu animations, which is when it like goes away and comes back in, and things like fade, and it, you know, it's, they don't just, see how it like slides and whatnot. That's the menu animations. And then you have your day skin theme. What the hell? Which is basically the color. So this is set to, it's set to day right now. So if it was nighttime, then it'll go, everything will go black like this. And it's actually not that bright, so it doesn't like, it's not like a light in your face at night. This is the FM transmitter and whatnot. That's if I had the online active, which it's not. The Navi's extra login, that's if I was like, if I had the internet connection and I was going in to pick up some of the other apps and whatnot, which I have all the apps I want right now. And this is the configuration wizard, which will walk you through setting it up for the first time. Bandwidth management is more about, again, if you're using the internet, how much internet do you want to use pulling like real-time traffic. I'm really not interested in that though, and then you have, of course, reset the default. So if you want to just set everything back to the way it was. So, I mean, overall, it actually is very useful in terms of like day-to-day driving. This is also very nice. If you notice, you have 11 and 6. Those are the house numbers. So if you're on a street, I'm on Centennial Drive right now, and if you don't know what the house number is, as you drive, this will go up and down to show you what street and like what house number you're on. So the houses on my left are going to be they're going to be 11, and they're going to be the negatives. And then my positives, of course, would be on the right, the positive numbers. So that'll give you a pretty good amount of information. That'll also give you help nearby. But yeah, all in all, the navigation is very, very thorough. So it's not just a knockoff sort of system where, you know, it has some of the features you'd be looking for, but not others. It actually has a pretty good amount of info. And it is actually very useful, and it does fold away, so there are times that obviously I don't need to navigate because I know where I'm going. So I close it away. And if you notice, this is still on, so all that means is that I closed it. So everything is still active, it just listed as being, it's just closed. But if I, let's say, had a movie on, I could still have the movie playing and have this closed. So let's say a cop was behind me and I didn't want him to see that I have my TV on, I just flip this away and I can still listen to it. And then when we're ready to go back to normal, we open it back up. So I manually push it. I just hold it back, because other than that it'll come up about right here, and then it kind of faces, it faces a little, it's like angled slightly downward. I like it angled more up at me, so it's I mean, the camera probably won't catch it, but it's at a tilt right now, so it's actually aiming up a little, but it's easier for me to read it that way. Now if I wanted to completely turn the system off, and it will boot itself off and whatnot, I hit power. Now the system's off. Now granted, this is still on, but now if I switch through my inputs, it won't go to it. The auxiliary doesn't come up because it's not active. So it is a system that you can completely turn off. You don't have to have it always like active. You can turn it off whenever you want to. And obviously you got your GPS antenna right there. But overall, it is a pretty clean setup, and it works for me. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. It was something I was kind of putting off, but I knew there was a ton of work that needed to be done, and I wanted to do it right so I didn't have to keep doing it. So about the only thing I'm going to do now is clean up the wiring under the hood and make that a little more aesthetic. And once that's cleaned up, I mean, everything obviously inside the car is wired and set up, and I mean, even the work behind the dash, you can't see any of that. And I have this because I'm planning on using that every now and then, but other than that, you would have no indication. And because all Mazda 6s, well, this particular model I should say, this model year, because they all came with this little, like, this I can't think of the word, this little cubby hole that's normally there, or the factory nav, because they did put a factory navigation system there. It blends right in, and if you notice, the dash is the same. So it's not like somebody looks at it and say, oh, well, clearly that's out of place. It blends right in with the dash, and the only thing that obviously is different is the two buttons. But I mean, I've had plenty of people in the car and they have no idea that it's there until I open it, and then I open it's like, oh shit, you have a screen there? Yeah, there's a screen there, but the majority of the time I leave it closed, so I'm not using it. So like when I take off from here, I'm not gonna turn it back on. Hell, I probably won't use it for another week or so. Same thing goes with the system. Actually, let me put in a movie. Shit, I just powered this off then. Well, I want to just play a movie real quick. Not Dave Chappelle, like an actual like movie. Damn it. So, as you can see, it's gonna go through the whole boot process again. It will play DVD-Rs. Oh, that's the other thing too. I don't have the little like controller thing that normally comes on the factory nav, so I like that too, that people don't know. It just looks like the normal cubby. So there's definitely some advantages to it. Is it perfect? Of course not. You can find flaws with anything, and obviously my biggest thing is the internet. But I mean, that's cool because I can fix that whenever I'm ready to. But let me switch this. Let me switch it back. Damn it! Alright, it's back in DVD. So let's change this. Let's get Dave Chappelle out. Dave. See, as you can see, it comes right out of there. And then I just put that bad boy right there. It actually sounds like the movie theater. It is, I don't know if the phone's gonna pick it up, but it is I was kind of surprised. This is at -5, by the way, so the bass isn't up. Yeah, it's playing. I have it set to autoplay. But just listen to the sound. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie, it's pretty intense. Like, you would have to hear it. You would have to hear it to actually, like, I don't even know if the phone will pick it up, but that, I mean, it sounds ridiculous.
A new world order. No one can stop us.
So I've seen enough on this here, but yeah, I just wanted to give an idea of how that sounds. One of these days I might try it on a higher bass level just to see, but I like it as is. But let me put this back in, and Dave, you can go back in. I don't feel like watching that right now, and I'll just turn this back off, put it back to CD. Nice. But overall, yeah, I'm super happy about how this came out. So some of the questions that I know are going to come up: wiring. I used all 4 gauge as the video, as like the details that I've shown earlier have gone over. It's all 4 gauge wiring for the power and the negative. Same thing with the cap. It's all 4 gauge. The speaker wire, if I recall correctly, it's like, damn it, it's like, I want to say like maybe 14 gauge. It's between 16 and 14 gauge, but I have it doubled up, so it's considerably. So like on the amp, if you notice, there's 4 different connections. Actually, it's not that complicated to check it. So I have 2. So these are both negatives. And obviously there's only one sub here, so I have 2 negatives and then 2 positives. And all I did was just take the existing wiring. The sub only has 1 positive and 1 negative terminal, which I don't know if I can pick this up, but it only has 1 positive and 1 negative. So all I did was just take the wiring and then run it straight into the sub and then split it into the amp. So I mean, it ended up working out pretty clean. So the ground is, I used one of the factory points. That was pretty straightforward. The connections, all ring connections, I wanted to use all gold, but I ended up running out, so I had to use some regular aluminum, which still get the job done. The ferret, the cap is Apex? Yeah, Apex Electronics, but it's 1.5 farad. Now granted, this sub is not going to really require me to the cap to ever really work that hard, or the amp to work that hard, but eventually I might go with a larger sub. Then I'm gonna definitely need that cap at that point. But let me just cycle the motor real quick and that'll turn the cap on. Obviously, like, I've had the thing on all this time and there's really no draw of power, so the cap hasn't had to kick on. But for those that really don't know how the cap works, it's just another battery, but it's without being like another battery. So it's not like a 50-pound battery. All it does is just store the electricity. So instead of the connections from my battery and from my ground going straight into the amp, and the amp pulling that power straight from my battery, it first loads up in the cap. And the cap will hold about 12.5 to 13 volts, sometimes 14 volts. And basically, it'll pull the power from the cap to power itself versus from the battery. And then the battery will then refill the cap. So, I mean, it's just like having another battery, but the only thing I like is that it's smaller and it's more efficient for the most part. And it only kicks on when you absolutely need it. So, and that's mainly so you don't have the lights dimming. I gotta see if I can get this to cycle though. Alright, see if it cycled. Just trying to see if I can get it to kick on. Shit. Alright, so let me just turn the car and I'll turn it back off. That'll turn it on. There we go. There she is. So it'll give you your voltage readout. So right now, oh shit, I still have the light on. There we go. So right now it's at 12.4 volts. So to start a car, I believe you need like, I think I want to say like 12.2 volts or so. But regardless, 12.3, 12.4 is more than enough to turn the car on. So this is basically holding around 12.5 volts. So that is basically what's powering the amp right now, the energy from the cap. And then when the cap energy gets low, battery kicks on. Well, the battery refills it, the alternator refills my battery, so on and so forth. Everybody's happy. So works out very nice. Another question I know that is going to pop up, I just thought about it, is speakers. Am I using stock components in the stock amp? Answer, yes. These are stock Bose components. So it's the stock tweeters, stock doors, which are maybe like probably sixes. I have the stock Bose 8-inch subwoofer still hooked up, still pumping. And I have these stock rear speakers. So all in all, we have the two factory tweeters, 2 factory front speakers, 2 factory rear speakers, and then now the 8-inch sub and then the 10-inch sub. So all in all, it's got enough speaker to handle the bass. So it's not just a bunch of words, but a bunch of bass. And I know anybody that's been in one of my previous cars, I'll be honest, it was a lot more SPL. So you get a bunch of bass and then a couple of words, a bunch of bass, couple of words, bunch of bass, couple of words. So that's no good. That's not gonna do it. So I did set it up now where the speakers are strong enough to handle it. I know I had put Kenwood components in another car system that I did, and I had great results. I mean, oh Jesus, I mean that thing sounded amazing. The clarity was outrageous, and that was with a factory aftermarket head unit, but no aftermarket amp. That was just the amp in the head unit. But that thing sounded amazing. But that car also got broken into. So that's why I held off so long on doing this one, because I had a bad taste in my mouth because they broke in at the apartment complex with security guards, with cameras, left blood on the car, and nobody found out shit. Yeah, so I'm bitter. So that led me to get this Avital 5303 remote auto start and alarm. So it'll give me whatever information I need to know, and it also starts the car. And it's not that I'm too lazy to start the car myself. It's more that with the pistons, it does definitely take a little bit longer for the motor to warm up, and if you ever built a motor and drove the car before the pistons have warmed up, they will not be very happy and it drives very rough. So I always let it run like 10-15 minutes before I take off, and I get a nice smooth ride, no bucking or any bad shifts or anything. But yeah, pretty much. Let me turn this back off. So right now I'm actually going to do some work to the motor, so let me take care of that. But yeah, this is the AV setup. So if you have any questions or any... Oh, actually, I don't know why I skipped the most important thing. The head unit. Obviously this is all stock, so this is all factory, but this, where do you get that from? So eBay. I was actually kind of surprised. I mean, this is what, 10-year-old car at this point, as of next year. There's no less than probably, I don't even know, like what, there's like 7 or 8 different setups for this, where there's some of them are like towers and they stay open all the time. Some of them actually go in here and give you like a little screen and whatnot in the middle. One of them goes like down here. I don't know why you would put it that far down. Then there's quite a few that have like the flip up mechanism, but they don't have, like, one of them doesn't have the buttons up here, and then another one is a little more basic, and then there's another one that runs like Android. Bottom line is there are a ton of different options. Just search for Mazda 6 car DVD. Yeah, Mazda 6 car DVD. And you'll probably find a ton of different options. And if you don't find it on eBay, try Alibaba. And there's a ton of different options. This one, I don't remember the exact name for it, but I mean, just look at how this looks, and it's pretty simple to match it up. It ran roughly about $450 if I recall correctly, but this was a while ago that I got it. But it comes with a backup cam. I didn't hook the backup cam up. I don't want it. And then it comes with some AV cables, so you can run. So my AV cables are actually behind the dash, but considering that nothing works through like your red, white, and yellow cables anymore, I mean, I'm probably never going to use them. I'll probably use the USB more than anything. But overall, it is simple enough to find if you give it a little bit. And if you actually try to find it, you probably will be able to run into one. But yeah, if you have any questions, of course, just throw them down below, and I'll do my best to try to answer them as quick as I can. All right.